Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. I am so excited today. Our native son, Damian Daniels, has just done wonderful things. He has moved from being a player to the coach of the Columbus Lions. I am so excited.
Thanks so much for having me.
I tell you, I have no shame.
Right.
Your Aunt Deborah and I, we've been friends since Carver Elementary. I know your mom and dad, your grandparents, even your great-grandfather, Mr. Jim, who was very special in my village.
Yes, ma'am.
You have had this wonderful career experience. You are a product of Shaw High School.
Correct.
Went from Shaw High School to one of the state schools, and then circled around and ended up here as a player.
Right.
Assistant coach, and now coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that something? Full circle.
Right.
Right, because, usually young, brilliant people like yourself, you could go somewhere else. A lot of times our young folks don't want to come back home.
Right.
But you were willing to okay, I'll just go and check this out and see what's happening. So tell me, because I want all the young people, those that don't know you, you are a Shaw person.
Right.
You played Little League.
Yes, ma'am.
So share with our audience your Little League team. Then you went to Shaw and how all of that, the football journey.
Right. Well, of course, like you say, born and raised right here in Columbus. I played Little League at Edgewood, for Edgewood.
And that's where the real little tough guys used to be. Boys Club. You could really see it back then.
Right.
So now that makes sense.
Right.
So you were one of the Edgewood boys.
Right.
Okay.
I played at Edgewood, then I went to Fort Middle School, and then, of course, like you say, I went to Shaw High School. Shaw U is what we called it.
Yes.
Because we had, we
Were you with Coach Flowers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh yeah. That was
that era,
that was pretty tough.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. But like you say, got a scholarship coming out of high school to West Georgia. But honestly, things didn't really happen the way I expected them to.
Well, that's life.
Right.
We have a plan, but then there's a different plan.
Exactly.
Right.
So I kind of got hit in the face real early.
But you know what? That's a good thing.
Right.
Because see, going from Shaw, going to West Georgia in Carrollton, which is very conservative, predominantly white.
Right.
Georgia.
Right.
Right. Not Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a very different culture there.
Correct.
Right. Nobody's gonna wake you up to go to class. It was just a little different.
Not at all. And like you say, it was just a culture shock. Being one of the top guys on their recruiting board coming in.
Right.
I had a kind of status, but it means nothing once you get to that next level. You kind of start all over again and earn your stripes from the bottom.
Right. And that's what I wanted you to share with the young folks that's coming behind.
Right.
I tell them, I don't care what the career path is. I don't care how great you are, but you cannot just start at the top. You can't go on what your record was last week. Each week you got to be making your record.
It means absolutely nothing. And I learned that the hard way. Like you say, not having that person to wake me up, make sure I was going to class, make sure I was doing everything that I was supposed to do. And, I ended up falling short. And, I had to come back home and, like I say, get a reality check. And, that's how I actually ended up back home.
Okay. Right. No, because you could have gone to Atlanta, New York, whatever, which some people do. And then we never really kind of know what their next step was. Right. So you came back home, but guess what? That was a part of the plan. The long plan. Not your plan, but the long plan.
I didn't know that at first, because there was actually like a little 3-year gap where, I kind of hit a low point, depressed and, didn't really have any sense of direction on what I wanted to do. So once this opportunity came back around, I knew that this was my shot.
Right. And so you played on the team.
Correct. Yep.
So you tried out, but you worked out. You had to prepare.
Right.
See, that's the part I want you to tell them. You just don't, well, I was great at, Shaw or whatever. You don't get to just walk in.
Oh, yeah. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who I was, what I had done or anything. So I had to pay my money. I had to walk out there to an open trial with probably 100 other guys.
Really? And, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I just assumed, there we go, assuming that because you was the hometown kid, you had sponsorship. But you didn't. You were just like at ground zero with John Q. Public.
Yep.
No preferential.
Yep. Didn't know my name from a can of paint. even when it's a crazy story, even when he picked me to be on the team to, to come to camp,
Right.
he still didn't know my name. He called me by the color of my shorts.
Really?
Yep. He said, that guy in the blue shorts, I want him on my team.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how it happened.
How amazing. And so it was like 100 other dudes.
Yep.
And you had to get out and show
Right.
your skills.
Right. Yep.
Not that your daddy, who I know, who, I've been knowing him from a child, could pick the phone up and say, that's my boy, let him try it out. None of that.
None of that.
Okay, so you earned your place on the team.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so what position did you play?
Defensive back.
All right, okay. So was that what you did at
Yeah, that's what I played my whole life.
Your whole career?
Yeah, my whole life.
All right, so you were pretty much an expert then.
I can't say I was an expert,
You knew your place, though. You know what your mission was.
I knew how to play the game a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But, the arena game is a little different. So, I had to learn some things. But, I had some good coaches, had some good guys around me. So I was able to pick up pretty fast.
Right. And so you had Coach Flowers.
Right.
So was he able to watch you in some of this arena football?
Oh, yeah. He came to a couple of my games. I know he came to the championship game that first year we made it. So he kept in contact with me.
Oh,
I still keep in contact with him too.
Okay. Well, you the coach now.
Right.
So I'm expecting to see him in the stands cheering you on.
Of course.
Because he's a pretty mature guy. I won't say he's an old dude now.
He is a
but of course, we are
legend.
mature people now.
Right.
So he can be in the stands and cheering you on because he sold into you a lot of that basic discipline and training and values and team spirit and cooperation. You learned.
Right, I still live.
And you learned that. You learned that from him.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and so that's really what it's about. So now you have a responsibility
to pass it on to
the next.
Correct.
I really love that. And every time someone ever sits with you, and I told you this on the sidebar before we started this interview, every time I want you to tell them that you are a product of Muskogee County School District. You are the native son. Right. Because when you can say you were on the edge, Fort, then Shaw, and then, to West Georgia, and then back home. I mean, to me, that speaks.
Right.
And so we have a responsibility to support you in this new role.
Right, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to most, being that first guy that has that hometown connection.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to bridging the gap between, the arena team and the community.
Exactly.
So we can make this thing as big as we possibly
can.
Right,
and everybody should know you all because your grandmother, your mother's mom worked at DFAX. I worked there with her. Yeah. Your father's mom was one of my favorites, and your granddaddy, Martha and John Mathis. Your great-granddaddy Jim Perry was the one, baby, in East Winter. He was a legend, so we just loved him. So that's why we have to get behind you.
Most definitely.
So what we're going to do, take our first break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I am so excited about this conversation with Damien Daniels. When you have seen a young person, you knew them from a kid, you know their family, and then you see them to go on and do great things in their hometown, in their community, because so often people just want to leave and don't come back. That's why I'm so excited. Right. And then your sister, Tanisha, is a published author.
Correct, yeah.
I had her on the show, and of course she, works in the corporate world, and she's doing great things as well. And so you have blazed this trail, being the first hometown kid to be able to come back and coach the Columbus Lions in your own hometown. Right. So I know you've had the tryouts, and you say you got some pretty tough work ahead of you. So what does that look like?
Yeah, some tough decisions. You know, we actually had 3 local trials. We had 2 local trials, and we actually had one up in Atlanta as well.
Okay.
So we was able to get some good talent. And
So y'all took it on the road.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we was able to get some good talent coming in, and I'm bringing I think 50 guys in. 50 guys in total, but I got to cut it down to 25.
Woo! So that's half.
Yep.
Oh Lord, you know, if anybody's ever tried out for anything, that's a lot of pressure. No, because you know I was an HBCU majorette.
Right.
And if you're in an HBCU band, that's stress.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to be ready.
Oh yeah.
So
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to those 50, they better come here and they better be ready.
That's the thing, and I've been sending messages out, you know, just telling these guys, hey, I hope you're coming in shape. I hope you're coming
Good condition.
ready to compete because it's gonna be a
right.
road.
And diet and sleep
Most definitely
has a lot.
Right.
You can't hang in the club. This is Miss Gloria saying it's not trying to be a hater. No, if you want to make this team,
right?
because we want excellence.
Oh yeah, most
and
definitely.
we want more trophies. That's what we want,
Yep.
especially with the native son. Now we're not gonna be playing with that. So we don't want you all at the club. You can do that later, but you got to be physically fit, mentally fit, and ready to go.
And that's the thing, you know, a lot of people, you know, because of the level that it's on, they don't see how important it is to be a professional still.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's not the NFL, you know, we're not making millions of dollars. You know, some people get lost in the profession, but this is still professional football. So
exactly.
you have to come.
Exactly. And you never know who is watching.
Exactly.
You know, and I tell people that, you know, no, I'm not Oprah, and no, not yet.
Right.
Not yet. But the reason why I say that is, whatever it is, I'm going to try to do my best.
Right, because we still have guys that, you know, they get their film from here and they send it on to other places. They move up to XFL or CFL and get opportunities.
So this is still, exactly, this is still, but it's important.
Correct, right.
And we don't want people coming here taking it lightly.
Not at all.
Or taking up a spot that could be somebody else's. We want excellence because we want as many of those trophies under Coach Daniels as we can get.
Right.
And I have no shame in saying it. Now, if you need me to come speak to you, if you need Gloria to come speak to me, Gloria said we cannot have hashtag, we got to get a lot of those trophies under our native son. So, yeah, so they're going to be here. How long before you have to do the cut?
Well, I got the first wave of guys, all my skill guys coming in February 25th.
So what is a skill?
Skill guys are your quarterbacks, your running backs, your receivers, and defensive backs.
Okay.
So I bring all of them in on the 25th, and we'll have 1 week with just that group.
That group.
Right. So then on March 3rd, that next Sunday, I'll bring my big boys in, my linemen.
Oh, Lord, the brick wall.
Yeah, my
offensive Lord. And some of those guys, it's like running into a brick.
Oh, yeah, it should be like that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then that's why the people run into them and you see them.
They fall.
Okay, so we're going to bring in the quarterbacks and all of those first.
Yeah, we'll bring them in early. We'll get a head start with those guys, and then bring the big boys in and try to cut it down that next weekend. The following week, we'll be traveling on the road going to Texas.
Really? The first game?
First game is on the road, March 17th.
Really? Yeah. And so this time, with you being the coach, our native son, I'm just going to be, they just going to hate me when it's over. I promise you they will. We've looked at some of our local talent.
Right.
You said that you took some time because you were local talent.
Oh, yeah. It was important to me. You know, I played in this game a long time.
Since Edgewood.
So, just playing arena.
I know, but you started
in
Edgewood.
Arena for a long time, and you know, most teams that I played on, it was maybe 4 or 5 guys that were from around here.
Really?
And everybody else was
from somewhere else.
Was from somewhere else.
Really?
So, you know, these past 2 seasons, we've tried to do a better job of having more local talent, so we can, you know, just give our guys an opportunity.
Absolutely.
To play in front of their families, and that was big for me to be able to play in front of my family.
Oh, I know, because your sister and
they're gonna show up and show out.
Oh, and they're gonna put it on social media.
Right.
So I could see what you were doing because I knew Tanisha was gonna be right there front and center, and she was your best publicist.
Most definitely.
She was your best publicist. But I really admired that. Of course, some of these guys, you probably know their parents from when you were at Edgewood.
Yeah.
Because you're at that stage in life now that some of those folks got kids this age.
I actually do have one guy that I invited to camp. Well, he made it to camp. I didn't invite him. He made it to camp. I actually coached when he was at Carl.
Really?
A few years ago. So, I'm looking forward to giving him an opportunity and see if he can take it to the next level.
Yeah, well, and that's very important. No, it really is. And when we give some of our local people, then we get other folks in the community that can see the vision.
Right.
That is achievable.
Right.
Because a lot of times we just see people on TV and we think some folks think that's way out of their reach. But this is a good way into for those that's looking at that.
And I'm pretty sure, that I had a lot to do with that for him to see me, being a coach, taking this route.
Yes.
He knew that, hey, it is possible.
I know,
he saw me do it. So.
I was excited when I saw him. I am on social media. Your mom and your sister, they're my social media friends. And then when they put the picture out there that said you was the coach, and I was like, what? So I was like, oh, Lord, let me call Mavis first. No, really. Right. And I'm sure with all of your other church family and the people we call our village, everybody was excited, and so that's what we want for the other young people that's coming behind you. The village, we always want to celebrate our young people that's doing good things.
Right.
We see so much of the negative in the news. When we got something good to celebrate, especially with our African American males, I will be the one cheering you on. You will be like, that's Miss Gloria. It's Miss Gloria up there, sit down, because we need to celebrate that.
Right.
If you look at the news, it's enough for us to be sad about. So we want to celebrate this, and I have no shame, and I will just make sure I'm doing my part. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take our break with our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
David Benefield at the historic Highland Hall, florist extraordinaire, making dreams come true for all occasions. Visit David and his team today at 1504 17th Street or call 706-324-4881, where happiness blooms. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I am really enjoying this awesome conversation with Damian Daniels, our native son, the new coach of the Columbus Lions. I have no shame. I'm excited. I want the community to be excited. I want all of your folks that live in the Dub where we all grew up. Your mama's folks, they're not from the Dub. They're from the other side. But, really, we have something to celebrate here.
Right.
We really do. And so for you, it wasn't a direct route. But this, you said you knew ever since at Edgewood, you wanted to play football.
Right.
So for those young men that might have to take a different route, maybe they've tried something and it didn't work, you can still take another route and get to where your dream is.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing that I want to, tell them is most times, most success stories don't start from point A and go straight to point B.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot of
ups and downs,
unexpected twists and turns that you're going to have to go through and go around to actually get to that end goal. But I think along that journey is where you learn who you are, and that's where you learn how important that goal or dream is for you. And I think the ones that can withstand that are the ones that's going to reach that end goal.
See, I like that. You said the ones that can withstand that.
Right.
And you got to put on your big boy pants.
Oh yeah, you got to go through something.
Yeah, you really do. You really do. And if sometimes a no, you might get 10 no's before you get to the yes.
Yep.
And so you just have to keep plugging away. And in the meantime, you got to stay physically fit.
You got to keep working.
Yeah, see, that was you.
Like I tell my kids, you got to work while you wait.
I love that. Say that again.
Yeah, you got to work
while you wait.
Yeah,
I like that.
While you wait.
No, that's sage advice.
Correct.
Yep. You just can't give up, stand still, lay down and cry. You got to work while you wait.
Exactly. When that opportunity comes, you got to take full advantage.
Because you got to be ready to
Exactly.
launch.
Exactly.
Because you don't never know when the door is going to open.
That's going to call going to come. Just like I told, a lot of guys that I had at the trial that didn't make it to camp, I told those same guys that, hey, you never know. I may cut half of these guys and I can call you back.
Exactly.
You need to be ready.
Exactly.
So I think that goes hand in hand with anything.
See, I'm glad that you have experienced enough where you could to tell them, because a lot of times people that have had every opportunity, silver spoon, somebody punching their card for them, and I'm not hating on that,
Right.
but that's what we live in America. It
Right.
happens, and somebody is punching a card for them and opening the door for them. But when you have to kick the door in for yourself,
I think it means a little more, and it means a little more.
you appreciate
Oh,
that,
most
yeah. And so you do what you can to hold on to it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay, so what does the season look like? So our first game is on the road.
Yeah, we got our first 3 games on the road actually.
Wow.
This year, yeah, but the third one is not too far. It's right down the road
Okay.
in Albany, Georgia.
Okay, I'm
That's
the
yeah.
Albany State University grad.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, that's about an hour 15 away. So
Right.
you know, that's not too far. I'm sure some of our fans will come to that one.
Uh-huh.
The first home game will be April 12th.
Okay, April
April
12th
12th.
is the first home game,
Yeah.
and we have people that can have season tickets,
You can have
and we
season
have
tickets.
general admission.
We have VIP sections, we have lower level sections, and we have general admission.
Okay,
So we try
so
to make it feasible for everybody.
okay, so if all of the Shaw alumni,
Right.
because I'm gonna put them on the spot,
Oh,
since
yeah.
you are,
Oh,
know, one of their prize people,
Right.
great success, they can get together and get a whole section
Right.
and turn up
Right.
for you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's what I'm here for. I need to see it.
And then all of the family members, the old people like me and Dr. Damien, your cousin died and all of us, then we might just get us a little car with old school
Right.
section, and then we can be turning up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My family they normally have their own little section, get shirts made up. So
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but your
looking forward to
mother is a little more conservative. So
Yeah.
we can't sit over there with Miss Mavis. We don't have to go over there with the East Women conversation.
Get a little more
Yeah,
round.
so we can just turn up.
I
Yeah.
got you.
But certainly we want everybody, to come out and support. Is there anything else that people can do to support this? We want them to come to the games. We need them to spread the word. When you all have a social media page.
Yes, we have social media page, Facebook, Instagram.
So we want people to like it and follow it and
follow,
share it.
share it. Share the schedule. Let everybody know, because that's one thing. Being around, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I didn't know me and y'all."
Well, that's
played."
true.
So we're gonna make sure that that's not the case this year.
Right.
We're gonna get it out to everybody so we can pack the Civic Center and make it hard for somebody to come and win.
See, that's what I want. And I want you, and like you don't have a lot to do. Here I go, but I can't help it because, like I know your grandparents, I even know your great granddad. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I want the Muskogee County School District folks, and I'll call Kim Wright myself. She's communications. We need to let people know who you are,
Right.
and we need to have our kids in the school system looking at you,
Right.
especially our young men.
Right. And I'm still a high school coach right now to this day.
Oh, okay.
I'm still a coach at Carver High School right now.
Yeah, but
During the fall.
yeah, but we want everybody. We want the Spencer people,
Oh, yeah,
the North
everybody.
Side to know you are Coach Damian Daniels. You are a native son, and they can come down here and watch you.
Right.
And maybe one day they can be like you.
Hopefully.
And especially our kids in our neighborhoods, from where we from, over in the Dub, they need to know you.
Right.
Yeah, because your granddad lived on Baldwin Street.
Right.
I lived on 8. So we have to take our claim to fame.
Right.
No, really. And that's why I'm more than excited.
Right.
And so when I called your mother and I was like, okay, and then she was like, okay, well, I told you were going to call. So I'm really appreciative that you would take the time to do this, because I know you have a lot going on with trying to get your roster and your training camp and all of that stuff together.
Right.
But I just thought this visit today was very important.
Well, thank you so much.
I want to highlight when we have our own people doing great things from our village. It can be done. It might not be easy,
It won't be easy.
but if we persevere,
Right.
we just keep on pushing.
You gotta push through it.
Push
How
through.
bad do you want it? That's the thing. You don't have to show that.
Exactly. So we have hockey here. We have a lot of people coming from out of town over in softball field,
Right.
but we can also put some time, money, and energy into the Columbus Lions.
Oh yeah. All y'all football freaks out there, Super Bowl is next Sunday,
Yeah.
but football is not over.
No, it's not.
We about to start
Right.
all over again.
And
in
some
March, so-
people have never been exposed to arena football.
Right.
And so this is our opportunity to have our native son expose us to it and teach us
Right.
what that looks like.
Okay.
Okay, any parting words?
No, like I said, I just thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to this season and trying to get everybody in Columbus to pack out that Civic Center.
That's what we want. And we're going to put a special charge on those Shaw High School
Oh
people.
yeah, Shaw U, you know, Edgewood. They go everybody.
Real people. No, really.
Everybody.
We want that.
Oh,
They have a responsibility to turn up for you
Right.
because those are your people.
Right.
Well, I just want to thank you so much. Please know that sincerely, I'm very proud of you. I know your parents are. I know your grandfather, your grandmother. I know they are very, very proud of you. And we want you to continue. We know that you will be wonderful. It's going to be great, successful, and we're going to get a lot more of those trophies.
Yeah, I got a few more to add.
We got to do it. All right, thank you so much for doing this.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
appreciate it.
I enjoyed it.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.
So, Damien, explain to our audience what arena football is. What makes it different from the normal NFL field?
Right. Well, of course, you know, you have a smaller field. It's cut in half. It's only 50-yard field. I think you only have 8 players. And on offense, you are allowed to have a guy in high motion, like going towards the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. So that gives an advantage to the offense, so they want higher scores. You know, so that's why you see a lot of times arena games maybe, 60 to 50.
Okay, and I don't think a lot of people knew that.
Right. Yeah, they want it to be more exciting. It's a lot more passing than running.
Okay.
You may run the ball maybe 5%.
So it's a little fast moving.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like fast break football.
Okay, fast break football.
Fast break football.
That's a good way to describe it.
Right.
Okay, so that I get it now. Because I knew that it wasn't the same with the amount of yards.
Right.
So we're at 50.
Right.
Right, and it's fast paced.
Everything's cut in half, so you got little room for error. In the outdoor game, you may make a mistake, but the field is so big, I got room to catch up.
Exactly.
I have room to make up.
Exactly.
In arena,
You gotta make it happen.
there's no room for making up.
All right, now turn it on down.
Right.
Okay.
You gotta be on point right now.